today's lesson is on the definition of a fraction. As usual, there is a video guide to go along with this video. If you haven't printed it already, go ahead and pause the video, print the video guide, and then come back to the video because we're going to use that in our lesson today. So the first thing we want to talk about is what is a fraction. All right, most people hear the word fraction and they get a little nervous, they don't like fractions, so we're going to have a whole unit on fractions starting with the basics. So, what is a fraction? The technical definition for a fraction is a numerical quantity that is not a whole number. Now, whole numbers are what we're used to working with, and most of us are comfortable working with whole numbers. Whole numbers are just the basics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, 632, 1,428. All of those are whole numbers, okay? So a fraction is not a whole number. All right, the easiest way that I can think of for you to understand what a fraction is that it's just part of a whole. I think of it as sharing with someone. So if I have a candy bar and I'm sharing with a friend, I'll split it into 2 pieces. I take one of those pieces, my friend takes one of those pieces, so I have 1 out of 2 pieces. My part always goes at the top of our fraction. The whole is at the bottom. Okay, so the part of the candy bar that I got was 1 of the pieces. The whole would be the 2 individual pieces. When I put those together, that would make my whole candy bar. So I got 1/2 of the candy bar, part over the whole. Now another 2 terms actually that I want to talk about to make sure that you hear them, and when I use them, you'll know what they are. Part over the whole, there's the top number, the part, the bottom number is the whole. Those have specific names. All right, so the top number of a fraction is called the numerator. You're going to hear me use that word a lot. Okay, so the numerator is at the top. The bottom number is called the denominator. Okay, so this is the top of the fraction, the top number. Denominator is the bottom number. Okay, so the numerator is always the part, the denominator is always the whole. All right, so what we're going to do at this point is take a look at our video guide, and we're actually going to go through some of the examples together. For problem number 1, if we take a look at our picture here, we're going to just write a fraction to represent the picture. So we already know we have our fraction here. Now remember, for every fraction, we put the part over the whole. So the whole is just the total. How many pieces does it take to make the whole picture? So let's go ahead and count the total first. So if I take a look at my picture, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces. If I put all 6 pieces together, I've got the whole picture. So my whole, the denominator, is 6. After that, I need to know the part. The part is the portion that's shaded in. The directions ask us to figure out the shaded area, the fraction of the shaded area. So if I look at my shaded area, I've got my numbers up here already. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that are shaded. So 5 out of the 6 pieces are shaded. So that means the part is 5. So my fraction for number 1 is 5 out of 6, so 5/6. Okay, that would be our fraction for problem number 1. Again, 5 out of the total 6 pieces. Let's look at number 2. So our picture is here. First thing I'm going to do is figure out how many pieces do I have all together. What's my total? What's the whole? So here's our fraction. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Okay, so it takes 4 pieces to make the whole circle. So 4 would be my whole. All 4 of them together make the whole amount. Now we need to know the part, the shaded area. All right, well, I've got shaded area here. There's 1 shaded area. Here's 2 shaded areas. So that would be 2. Only 2 out of my 4 parts are shaded. So my fraction is 2/4. So for number 2, we have 2/4, 2 out of the 4. All right, let's take a look at number 3. Again, we want to figure out the fraction part over the whole. So here's my fraction. The whole amount would be how many pieces are there all together. So let's go ahead and count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces all together. It would take 9 of these strips to make the whole picture. So my whole amount is 9. After that, I want to figure out, okay, what part of this picture is shaded? So looking at my picture, we've already got our numbers here. We can count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the pieces are shaded. So my fraction is going to be 8 out of 9 pieces total are shaded. So that would be 8/9 is our fraction for problem number 3. At this time, go ahead and pause the video, try problems 4 and 5, and then come back and check your answers with me. For problem number 4, we have our circle. The first thing I did was went around and I counted how many pieces do I have all together. There were 6 pieces that I numbered, so my whole amount is 6. It takes 6 pieces to make the whole circle. After that, I counted how many shaded pieces there were. Well, we only have 1 shaded piece here at the top, so my part was 1. 1 out of the 6 pieces is shaded, so our fraction is 1/6 for problem number 4. For problem number 5, the first thing I did again was count how many pieces there are total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces total would make the whole circle. So 8 is my denominator. After that, I counted how many shaded pieces there were. So looking at our problem here, our picture, there's only 1 piece that is shaded. So my numerator is 1, that's the part. So there's 1 out of the 8 pieces are shaded for problem number 5, which would be 1/8. For problems 11 through 20, we're actually reversing the problem. All right, so they're going to give you the fraction. You need to shade the area that represents the fraction. So let's look at problem number 11. Our fraction is 6/8. All right, so they're already telling us that it takes 8 pieces to make up the picture, okay? Which if I count around, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Now, the fraction that's supposed to be shaded is the numerator, the top number. Remember, that's our part. So it takes 8 pieces to make up the whole. Our part is only 6. So I need to shade in 6 pieces of this picture. So let's count through and shade in 6. So here's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These 2 pieces should be left unshaded because I'm only supposed to shade 6 out of the 8 pieces. So for number 11, this is what it would look like. Now, you don't have to have those exact same 6 pieces shaded. All right, if you shaded these 2 in but not these 2, that's fine. As long as 6 are shaded, 2 are not. It doesn't matter which 2 are shaded which 6 are shaded and which 2 are not. Let's look at number 12. Our fraction is 2/6. So they're telling me already that the whole amount is 6, which if I look at my picture, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces to make the whole picture. Now, 2 out of 6 means that our part is 2, so I should only shade in 2 of the 6 pieces. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's one piece, here's two pieces. 2 out of the 6. This is a picture to represent this fraction. Number 13. Our fraction is 9/12. So if I count around, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My whole amount is that denominator, 12. It takes 12 pieces to make this circle. Only 9 of them are supposed to be shaded. That's our part. Remember, part over the whole. So let's go through and shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. So 9 out of the total 12 pieces should be shaded for number 13. At this point, go ahead and pause the video, try numbers 14 and 15, and then come back and check your answers with mine.